Hi friends, Noki here. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, it is so good to have you. You may want to consider subscribing because on this channel, I talk about saving and making money, rather making and saving money, creating wealth for your family and creating a legacy for generations to come. So I know on the last video, I mentioned the debt snowball method, but I thought I should make a video dedicated to the debt snowball method, how it actually works, because I think I just ran through explaining step by step on how the debt snowball method works. So on today's video, I'm going to be going step by step with an example. I even pulled out the whiteboard. You know, when we have the whiteboard, things are about to get serious in here. We are getting in class and we mean business. So I'm going to explain and through examples on how the debt snowball method works. The debt snowball method is the method that is highly recommended by Christian financial advisor Dave Ramsey, and he does a very good job explaining how it works. And I'll try my best to do that as well today. And the reason why the debt snowball method is the optimum or best method, it is because it works and it does have a feasible results, and it gets you out of debt way faster than the avalanche method. So somebody may be wondering, what is the avalanche method? The avalanche method, mathematically, it makes sense. However, practically, it doesn't. It doesn't work. Well, it may work for some people, but it will take you way, way longer to get out of debt. So the avalanche method is when you tackle your debt from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Yes, of course, like I said, mathematically it makes sense, but it takes you forever to get out of debt. Whereas with the snowball method, which is what I'm going to explain here today and give an example, it works because you are attacking your credit cards, your debt from the one with the lowest balance to the one with the largest. So with that being said, if this is the type of content that you're interested in, hey, why don't you click the like button so that people who are looking for similar content may find it, and it also helps the channel as well. So I'm going to give us some examples here, and I've got, like I said, I've got the whiteboard here, and I'm going to list some examples. So you are going to take all your credit cards and you're going to list them from lowest balance to highest balance. So this is exactly what I'm going to be showing you here today. So we list our card numbers. This is card, let's say card 1, card 2, card 3, and card number 4. And I'm going to, so this card 1, so say card 1 has a balance of say $500. I'm going to try to use whole figures. And then card number 2 has a balance of $1,000. And then card number 3 has a balance of $3,000. And then card number 4 has a balance of $5,000. And again, I'm just picking up numbers here. And then the minimum balance, so this is the balance. These are the balances here. And then here, let's say minimum payment. So the minimum payment, say for the $500 is $25. Maybe the minimum for the 1,000 card, the minimum say is $50. And then the minimum for the $3,000 card, probably, let's just say it's $65. And then maybe the minimum for this $5,000 card is $75. Okay, so you've listed your cards disregarding the interest rates. You've listed your cards from lowest balance all the way to the highest balance. Let me change and use a different color here. So this card here has a balance. With the one with the $500 balance, the minimum is $25. So And then here are the payments. Here we're going to list the payments. It's just the payments. Here we're going to list the payments. So how you're going to tackle this is you are going to go hard on this one here. So you are going to not just pay a minimum of $25. You are going to tackle this and say maybe at least minimum, at least double it, say $50. Pay $50 or higher. So whatever extra money you have, you wanna put it here. And then these other ones, you just continue with the minimum balance. You pay 50 on this one, you continue paying the 65, and on this one, you continue paying the 75. So what's gonna happen is this card here with a $500 balance, it is the one that you are really going to go hard at it, aggressive at it. And remember, you are still going to be paying the other cards, but these other cards you are just going to be keeping them at a minimum. And at this point, as we are getting out of debt, you want to hold off on buying anything new. You don't want to be charging these cards. These cards you already have gotten rid of. You do what is called plastic surgery. Just cut them up and forget about them. And then if you have other bigger debts like the car loan and the house, the mortgage, continue paying those as well. So you're going to go hard at this one. And then if you have $100 another month, you might put $100 here. And then continue doing the minimum on this, continue with the minimum on the rest, continue with the 50 here, continue with the 65 here, continue with the 75 here. And then until this card is completely paid off. So say the last regular payments that you were making on that $500 card was $100. So you're going to take that $100, all of it, and now you're going to go hard on this second card, which had a balance initially. Of course, the balance is still being reduced. It's going down, but very, very minimally. So you are going to take that $100 from this card and add it onto this $50. So now you are going to be paying $150 on the next card, and then you continue paying the 65 on this other one, continue paying 75 on this one, until you completely eliminate card number 2. So what you are doing here is you are snowballing, you are gathering momentum, and once you have this card paid off, check this card, it's paid off, check this card, it's paid off, and now you have these 2 cards left and your car loan and maybe your house payment. The house payment, I don't want you to even stress about it as long as you continue making payments. So you want to aggressively do this. So now, once you are done paying card number 2, now you go at card number 3. Card number 3, say maybe the last payments, you're getting more money, you're working side hustles, you are delivering pizza, you are doing whatever, eBay and whatever, you are making extra money. So the last payments that you are going hard at this, all the extra money that you are adding on this, maybe you are now paying $200 and you quickly got rid of this balance. So you are going to take that $200. In your mind, you might say, oh, now I have extra money. Yes, you do have extra money, but not to spend. Remember, you are suspending any spending, you are suspending any investing, you are suspending anything that you've been putting away. Because the goal here is to get rid of debt quicker so that you can start saving. And let me also mention before you get to this stage that you also want to make sure that you have at least $1,000 towards your emergency fund. So you have the $1,000 as you are tackling this. Make sure you have that. If you don't, work at it while you are working at this as well. So you have your $1,000, which eventually you are going to increase to cover costs, your household cost of 6 months to a full year. We know what happened last year, and some people were caught with their pants down because they didn't have any savings whatsoever. So now you've gotten rid of card number 2, and the last regular payments that you were making were $200. Now you are going to take that whole $200 and you are going to add it onto that 65. So now you are going to be paying $265 on this card, the card that had the $3,000 balance. But of course, the balance has been going down, but not much, because you are just paying the minimum balance, and the reduction of the balance is not very significant. It is going down, but not as significant as these other ones that you're going aggressive on. So now you take that 200, now you're paying 265, and you are still squeezing whatever money you find, and you keep adding it onto this. Keep adding it, and maybe one month you have putting $300. Maybe another month you are, until you get rid, completely eliminate card number 3. And while you're doing that, you are still paying the minimum on this 5,000 balance, the card that you started off with $5,000, and you're still paying the minimum payment. So say the regular payment that you are now making on this on card number 3 was now $300. You are going to take that $300, put it fully on this card. So now you're taking that 300 plus the minimum payment. Now you are going to be paying 375, and squeezing whatever money you get from wherever, whatever you are doing extra, increasing your household income. You are going to go at this with a vengeance, and that way you are eventually going to clear this. This is how the debt snowball method works. And at this point, the things that you maintain is, of course, food, shelter, bills, your household lights. You make sure those are paid up before you even do all this. So now that you are done paying all the credit cards, the store credit cards, which have a higher interest, they are non-negotiable. Now you have all of them. The 4 was just an example. You're just going to go attacking all those credit cards that you have. If you have 8, you go at them one by one until you get to the last one. So say the last card that you were paying, you were now making a regular payment of, say, maybe $400, and your car balance is $10,000, and your monthly payment is $400. You are going to take that 400 from those cards and add it onto the car note, and you'll be making a payment of $800. And at this time, with your emergency fund, the emergency fund that is for your house, you want to go at it hard. Go at it hard. Be increasing it. At this stage, you should at least have 6 months of emergency fund saved. 6 months saved. So if your household, say for example, if your household expenses, your monthly household expenses, so let's say your monthly household expenses are $3,000, and you're a family of whatever number, 6 or whatever, and your monthly household expenses on the higher end, including if you're renting or whatever, mortgage, if they all come to $3,000 at this time, you should have at least $18,000 saved. That's what you want to have. Yeah, how I got to that 18 is 6 months, 6 times 3. Yeah, so that's 18. 6 times $3,000, that's 18,000. So at this time, you should have your emergency fund, which is easily accessible, of at least $18,000, so that should anything happen, somebody loses a job in the house, you know your household is taken care of. Then after you have your 6 months to a year emergency fund saved, you are going to start investing. You are going to start paying extra for your home mortgage loan if you are not renting, if you own your home. So let me explain that again. I think it was a bit fuzzy and complicated then. Let me reiterate to make sure that you get this right. After you got rid of all the credit cards, whether it's 4 credit cards, 2 credit cards, 3, 5, 10, or whatever, you take the final amount that you're paying on the last card. If it was 500 or 400, you take it and add it to the car loan, to the car note amount. You use it towards the car loan until you eliminate this. You don't have to wait for those 76 months or 36 months that they told you before you get rid of it. You want to go at it because at times the interest is what, usually, actually, the interest is what kills you. And then you take whatever was now what you no longer pay here, now you can split between your emergency fund and investing and your mortgage, or if you don't have a mortgage, even better, you just save it, save your money. So the whole point and the whole goal here is to eliminate debt, and this debt snowball method is the most user friendly, and it's the most reasonable, and it's the most effective, because as you eliminate one debt at a time, one card at a time, you gain momentum, and it actually encourages you to get out of debt. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope by the time you are done with all your debt, you are at a point to invest and save money. I thought I'll stop by here today and really show you how to practically use the debt snowball method to get out of debt. And this method works. It doesn't matter what part of the world you are in, as long as you are drowning in credit card debt. Let me say, however, that there are people who know how to use credit cards. As I give you all this financial advice, and other people who do financial content like this, we are not saying that there is anything wrong with credit cards. But the thing is, most people do not know how to use credit cards. Most people abuse credit cards. Most people use credit cards as a way of funding their lifestyle. You cannot use a credit card to fund your lifestyle. There are people who know how to use these credit cards. So, and those are the people who, if they charge their card, say on March 25th, maybe they charged $300 on the card, and then their statement comes and tells them, remember, when the first statement comes, it doesn't even have any interest on it. So when they receive the statement, they go ahead and pay that whole $300. Those are the smart people who know how to use credit cards. And most people who are financially smart and savvy, they use credit cards to their own benefit. They use credit cards to earn advantage miles on airlines. They use credit cards to get some cash back. That only works if you know how to use a credit card. I thought I'll mention that because I know of people who use credit cards, but they use them so smart, that it's so well in a good way that they never even incur any interest. And the way that you use a credit card without incurring any interest is that when you receive the bill, you pay it right away. You pay it right away, and you pay the whole balance that is on the credit card. You don't go for the minimum payment, because that is how the credit cards get you. When you pay the minimum, you are just barely making any progress. You are just paying the interest, and it can take you many years to get out of debt. But if you are smart, if you are financially smart and know how to use credit cards, you are going to pay the whole balance on the card the moment you receive the card, so that you don't incur any charges on it. You make sure that you don't have any late payments. By the due date, you want to make sure that balance is paid fully. Yes, indeed, like I said, that is how you effectively use credit cards to your benefit and to your advantage. So with that being said, let me cut this video here, and then I'm going to continue with this series on how to get out of debt and gain your financial independence. I hope you found this information useful. I hope you found the debt snowball method understandable, and I hope for those of you who are in debt, I hope you can put this method to use, so that you quickly get out of debt, so that you can gain your financial independence, and then you can start saving, you can start investing, and you can start creating and making wealth. Whew. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like, click the like button, and remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my useful content. I'm going to link the video of financial freedom, the last two videos that I uploaded on the iCard here, and I'm going to continue uploading more content on how to gain your financial independence. With that being said, please do share this video, and leave me a comment and tell me what you liked about this method of getting out of debt. And don't forget to do small things with great love. From my heart to yours. Bye bye.